name is Ohanzi, and that wolf up closest to you is Ahanu. They are brothers. They are 8 years old. They have been here ever since they were babies. And most of the time, they are the best of friends. They spend all of their time close to one another. They play every day. But when I come in, something different starts to happen. This wolf, when he was about 4 years old, decided that he would not share me any longer with Ahanu. So when I come in, what happens is Ohanzi comes right to me, and Ahanu stands to the side and watches and waits, and hopes that he'll be able to get some time with me too. Ohanzi's telling him not even to think about it. He's telling Ahanu to stay away from me. And you see that Ahanu is the biggest wolf? The one that is being told to stay away is the biggest wolf. Ohanzi is the boss. And all of the noise, or almost all of the noise, comes from Ahanu.
Doggy, yes,
stay away from
doggy.
And if it gets really, really loud and snarly and even snapping, watch Ohanzi. The sounds sound so scary and so serious to us, and then you look over at this wolf, even when his brother is right in his face, and he will be smiling and his tail will be wagging. And the lesson for us is our people ears hear these sounds and we think, oh my goodness, this is very dangerous and serious. And you look at their body language and you can realize it is not so serious to them.
They're going to play. They're going to play.
And both their tails are wagging right now.
They're going to play.
So as we try to work this out, and I try to work around and getting some time with Ahanu, watch their eyes. They make a lot of eye contact. Ahanu will think about coming to me. He'll look at me, then he'll look at his brother. He'll look at me, then he'll look at his brother. For the past week or so, Ohanzi has been quite a bit more relaxed and has been allowing Ahanu and I to have some nice time together. You see him sniffing where I was kneeling? He does not normally do that. One of the really neat things about working with these wolves is that every day it can be a little bit different. They're never entirely predictable, and they respond to the smallest changes in their environment. And oftentimes the puzzle for me is to see, even now what he's doing is different, and I know that because I work with him every day. So oftentimes the puzzle for me is, okay, what just changed? What are they responding to? And I know what it is. I bought a new pair of sneakers today. And that's what they're picking up on. They have to check any change, any small change. When I talk to people, one of the things people oftentimes ask me is, would wolves make good pets? And I tell them, no, they definitely would not make good pets. We have spent thousands of years creating these wonderful animals that share our homes that we call dogs. They all came from wolves, but we have worked very hard all this time to create these very relaxed, easygoing animals. The wolves are the opposite of that. The wolves are always attending to any small, they have to take everything apart. They're very, very attentive to small changes. I'll be doing this top, and some little child will stick their legs through, or a little child like this will walk away from their parent. And the instant that happens, the focus leaves me and goes right to that. They're a wild animal. When the wolves, well, let me start by saying this. You know, we do not, zoos do not take animals from the wild any longer. We get our animals from other zoos and other breeds. So Ohanzi always gets his way. No matter how frustrated Ahanu gets and how loudly he yells at his brother, Ohanzi's always in control and he always moves him away. It's so neat, boys and girls, to learn this lesson about wolves and wolf families. They're like people families. It is not natural for a wolf to hurt a member of its own family. It's not natural for people to hurt a member of their own family. But just like any brothers and sisters in a people family or a wolf family, it's entirely natural for brothers and sisters to sometimes get angry and use angry words with one another. And that's what's happening here. Ahanu is frustrated because Ohanzi is not letting him be by him. I'm giving a Hanu a bit of time, but I also want to respect their relationship and respect Ohana and not create more tension. I've worked with these wolves for so long, boys and girls, I understand their language. Shall I tell you what a Hanu just said to his brother? You want to hear what he just said? He said, "You are not the boss of me." But he is the boss. Look at his tail wagging. He's very pleased to be in control, have his own way. Even though he's not by me, he's keeping his brother away from me. How come? I'm still pulling out just a little bit what's left of the winter under fur. I have a video playing up at the gift shop, if you didn't see it when you came in, showing the wolves in their winter coats. Because as magnificent as they look now, if you see them in their winter coats, they really are spectacular.
Justin would have got a kick out of
The
this.
story that I like to talk about when I do this presentation now is the wolf language, the wolf communication between the two wolves, what it means and what it doesn't mean. And I talk about my relationship with the wolves. Well, Hansi wants me to play with him. If I play with him, then Ahanu wants to play. And if Ahanu wants to play, then he gets chased away from me.
Puppy. You like the puppy, huh, Sophie?
So Ahanu gets a nice run to play, but Ahanu can't come by. Beautiful to watch him move, isn't it? I always enjoy it. So, we've talked a little bit about their language and what it means, my relationship with them. I don't talk a lot about basic biology, but what I'd like to do is kind of end the formal part of the talk and just leave it open to questions. If you're ready to move on, please feel free to do so. I'll stick around for a while. At 3 o'clock will be the maternity ward. Baby goat cuddling down here with the little babies is wonderful.
Baby goat cuddling.
At 3:30 I will feed my eagle owl. And at 4 o'clock I'll feed the otters. So Ohansi's in charge. Ohansi's totally relaxed. His brother's right in his face with his teeth. And Ohansi's just ignoring. He always gets his own way. It doesn't matter how angry his brother gets. But how neat it is that they use their language to solve their disagreements. I've heard it get much more intense than this, and at no point have they ever put a mark on one another. So who has questions for me about these beautiful animals? Anybody? Yeah.
So do they recognize you as the alpha or no?
Lead male wolf in a wolf pack, and he's in control. Oh, no throwing, son. And when people ask me about alpha, I tell them that I don't use alpha to describe the behavior in here because alpha refers to a social structure in a wild natural pack. And I have a very unnatural situation. 2 males, hand-raised, both neutered at 9 months. And so I don't think that really applies in here. What I think is more likely the case is they accept me as a member of their family. I've made it a point not to dominate them. I've never disciplined them, and I'll explain more about them. So they don't respond to me as that. And the one is boss, but I wouldn't call him alpha either. It's just two brothers with a pretty similar rank. This guy has decided that he's boss, and his brother has decided he's not going to challenge that except verbally.
So have you ever separated them to give the other one some time with you? Yeah,
yeah.
good, yeah.
Yeah, I was mentioning that I thought maybe I could fix this a little bit. And so I closed that wolf in, and I came in here with a Hanu, and a Hanu came to me right away, but he kept looking over his back at his brother. So I realized I was really creating more tension, and I backed off.
Yeah.
Ohanzi is relaxing more, and over the past week or so I have had more time with Ahanu, and as I stay here today, it looks like Ohanzi is going to relax a little bit, and Ahanu will get some time with me. He's looking now, he's thinking, yeah, we can have some time.
They're beautiful.
I think so. He's not, he's relaxed.
Oh, look. Oh, don't know if I'd like that so much, but...
That's kind of creepy, isn't it?
Not at all.
But it's not directed at me.
Yeah.
It's directed at his brother. Giving us some time.
You're lucky. Love to do that.
He's giving us some time. So I don't want to disrespect Ohanzi. He's allowing me to have time with Ahanu, but I don't want to press this too hard. So I'm going to back away and let some of the tension off. Who has other questions for me? Anybody? Lots of times people wonder what would happen if somebody else came in here. And I tell them that for the first 3.5 years, anybody could come in. And the fact the wolves
Justin and I have
absolutely
been watching
loved
the
to
show
greet
called Teen
strangers.
Wolf.
It was like candy.
He would
They
die.
loved having somebody new come in. But then they got to be about 3.5, and Ahanu started in particular to growl at strangers. And so that was the end of that. From that point on, I stopped bringing people in. I don't know what would happen because I'm not going to experiment.
That's not funny.
It is the same thing that happens with our puppies at home mostly. Our puppies love everybody when they're new and young. And then they get to be about 1.5 years and they start to identify us as their pack and our home is their territory. And when strangers come, that's when they start to bark and growl. And it was the same thing with the wolf. So we don't know any longer what would happen if somebody else came. My two sons, grown men, help to raise the wolves. And when they come back, they come in and the wolves treat them just like returning members of the wolf pack. They're very happy to see them.
Oh God! Go again?
No. Don't put it in.
Why are you way over there?
Until what age can they live to in the wild?
In captivity, I'll start that way. They will live the age of an old dog. They'll live to be 13 or 14 years old, where everything's taken care of for them, like here. I watched a recent video, Yellowstone wolves, and was so surprised to hear that the average lifespan of the wolves in Yellowstone was 4.5 years.
Wow.
And that's really extreme.
It's not a long time.
They're absolute prime. And it appeared as though most of it has to do with territorial struggles with other wolf packs.
Wow.
And they're always fighting for space and resources, and they kill them. It's also pretty tricky to take down buffalo and moose and elk without getting kicked and hurt.
They're really pretty.
Do they have any health issues at all?
They have not had one very minor health issue actually that I'm treating them for right now is that they used to get really bad bloody ear tips. The flies would bite their ears mercilessly. And my